Hello everyone, sorry about that. So that's YouTube and Google letting us down again. They have all the money in the world and they can't even get a decent streaming platform together. So that tells you everything you need to know, doesn't it? So sorry about that. I shared all the videos on the Gazwell social media accounts. Let's just put the camera on actually, shall we? So before I go off into my rant, let's put the camera on. Here we go. Okay, so I'm on camera now. Hello and good evening, everybody. So, yeah, there we are. We shared all of the, shared all of the videos and that across the social media accounts on gazwebits.com. And we've had to abandon that stream and start another stream because, Google and YouTube can't get their act together and have a decent streaming platform, despite having all the money in the world and all the resources in the world and wealth and money that most people could ever dream of having. They can't make a decent platform. So there we are. But anyway, we're here. We're live, and we're going to be with you until around or just before 7 o'clock. And we're going to look at quite a bit of data for this one actually. So we're going to be screen sharing quite soon into the videos. Into the live stream. We've got quite a bit to look at for this one. So hello and good evening to all of you. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. I was having a lovely Wednesday afternoon until around 5 minutes ago, and then by Wednesday afternoon went a little bit south. But I'm okay. I'm getting used to these sort of stresses and strains live streaming now actually. So I am starting to get used to it. So it's not as stressful as it used to be. Now on the first stream I saw that you're all chatting away and having a good time. So yes, I hope you're all having a lovely Wednesday afternoon. All right then, so let's see who we've got in. So we've got 22 concurrents. I assume it can take everybody a little while to realise what happened to the first stream and kind of shift over, but hopefully the concurrents will go up quite quickly. So Callum is with us, as is Shiram. So good evening, Callum. Good evening, Shiram. We've also got Josh White saying hey again, everybody. Good evening, Josh, and also Luke R is with us as well. So good evening, Luke. Thank you for being with us. Savvy is with us as well. And Savvy's been live streaming today. I think Savvy had problems starting off his live stream. So I was kind of expecting this actually. So Savvy's live stream went really well though. I tuned in some of it earlier on, and Savvy's live stream was absolutely fantastic as always, showing us all how to do live streaming. Also, Savvy's moderating the chat along with Paul James as well. Savvy and Paul are moderating. If everybody can give them both a thumbs up and say thank you so much for moderating our live stream this evening, that would be absolutely fantastic. Savvy's had a very busy afternoon, so it's really good of him to be here live streaming, moderating live stream as well. So I've also got Shryan Bruin saying hello, real life Gav. Yes, indeed, Shryan, certainly real life on YouTube. Anyway, Sane is saying, seems to be Wednesdays when these problems happen. There is a bit of a pattern emerging, isn't there, Sane? Yes, I don't think we've ever had a problem on a Sunday, have we? But I'll better touch wood about that, because we've got stream coming up this coming Sunday, of course. But yes, it does always seem to be Wednesday afternoons, doesn't it? Maybe I'm a little bit cursed on a Wednesday, who knows? But I think it's something that a lot of streamers are having today, because as I say, Savvy did a stream couple of hours ago, and I know Sammy had the same problem with the stream not starting. So I was sort of sitting here, although I think looked fine in the controller, I was sort of sitting here thinking, is this going to start up? I bet it doesn't, and indeed it didn't. So here we go, and let's have a look at what one or two more of you say. So we're going to do some screen caption quite quickly in this one, so I'm not going to hang around. We're running a little bit late anyway. I've got to get this wrapped up before 7 o'clock. So we will get on back to screen capturing quite quickly. We'll have a look at the latest situation. There's quite a bit of heavy rain around at the moment out there, and we'll have a look at some of the data. I think we've got a severe weather warning from the UK Met, so we'll have to have a look at that, see what the UK Met are saying And later on, we'll also have a look at the ECMWF 6 weekly temperature and precipitation anomalies. More about that very shortly. Might include another little bit of a rant about something, but more about that in a moment. So let's carry on down, and we've got Sally saying it's all working. That happened to me. Yeah, I know it did, Sally. So there we go. It seemed to be a problem across YouTube's live streaming platform again for some reason. I will probably, because this is happening relatively regularly, I'll probably have to stop sharing these on the GazWebbies social media accounts and on GazWebbies.com and just keep it to YouTube. And that's a shame, but you know, there'll be people probably sitting on Twitter right now pressing play on the video that I've shared, and nothing very much is happening on that video that I've shared. They'll all be wondering what's going on. So I probably will have to stop, you know, sharing this before I do it on Twitter and so on. And that is a shame, really, because I know some people do like to listen on Twitter. They'd rather not come over to YouTube. But there's not really much I can do about it. I can't be sharing videos on the GazWebbies social media accounts that aren't live videos. You know, they just fail videos. So it's a shame, but there we go. That's probably what we'll have to do. So Paul is with us as well, as I say. So Paul's saying, I hope you had a good birthday last Sunday, Callum, and also Sally. So yes, as we know, Callum and Sally have had birthdays recently. Chris A is with us, saying, Gary should be another great stream. Hopefully, Chris, we'll be able to bring you a great stream this evening. Alan Petru is with us, so thank you, Alan, for making over to our new live stream as well. Mark Clifford is with us, saying, nice to see your face on the live stream now, Gavler. Thank you very much, Mark. Yes, indeed, I've started using the webcam on the live stream. So I did that with the first channel members live stream last Saturday. I just started doing it. The first channel members live stream was last Saturday, and I enabled the webcam for that for the very first time as I was among friends, really, on the channel members live stream. And so now I'm going to have the camera enabled more on the regular live streams as well. We're gradually going up. We're up to 45 current viewers now. No doubt a few people are still at the first live stream wondering what's going on, but gradually more and more people are making their way over to this one. So good evening, and thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. Mark Kanish is here saying, glad you got it all sorted. Glad you got it sorted. The live stream going. Getting DVDs for my birthday. Oh, that's lovely. Well done, Mark. I'm not sure when your birthday is. You have to let me know. We'll give you a shout out in one of the live streams. But well done for that. Shiram is saying, hello, Gavin. Why are the important drivers like ENSO, QBO, activity, etc. more important in the winter season compared to other seasons? I think because there's more of a jet stream in the winter, Shiram. Most of these drivers are impacting the jet, and in the winter, of course, we have the jet at its strongest time in the year. As there's that temperature contrast between the polar region and the tropics that sort of fuels and drives the jet. So I think that's the main reason. In the summer, the jet is very slack or often non-existent, actually. So we don't really have much of a jet stream in the summer. And what jet stream we have tends to be very weak and very sluggish. So the drivers of the weather have much less of an impact on the jet stream. I'm not sure whether that's the reason, but that's what I've always assumed why that is. Katrine's with us. Katrine Baso saying, good evening, Gav and everyone. I hope you are keep well and have had a lovely day. My day was great until around 2 minutes to 6, Katrine, and then it sort of went south a little bit, but I am getting used to these live streaming sort of setbacks, and so I'm fine, thank you very much, Katrina. I hope you're having a lovely day as well. SB is with us. Our good friend Alpha SB has checked in, so hello and good evening, SB. Thank you so much for being with us on our live stream. We've also got Lispy Leaf with us, new name. Always great to see new names in the live chat, so good evening, Lispy. Hope you're enjoying our live stream this evening. We're up to 53 concurrent viewers now, 54, so thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. In around 5 minutes' time, we'll start doing some screen capture, because we have got quite a lot to get through for this one. So looking at one or two more, Lispy is saying, what do you reckon extreme heat in the UK this summer? No sign of anything extreme at the moment, Lispy, but it's early days for that. We have forecast in terms of the gas weather, summer forecast, quite a hottish sort of summer. So maybe as we get later on, that's when things will start getting hotter. Barrison is with us, another new name, saying, why do North Sea coasts always get cold and cloudy in the summer? I suppose it's because the air is coming over the sea, so the air in the summer is going to be quite warm. It's coming over the sea, which is quite cold, especially in the north, and that's going to pick up a lot of cloud. I would have thought that's the primary reason. Also, of course, the jet stream is always closer to the north than the south when you're in the summer, as well, as the jet tends to be pushed further northwards when you get through to the summertime. Well, thank you for tuning in, Barrison. Sammy telling me it's rained quite heavily in North Wales, so yeah, there's some quite heavy rain around. We have got severe weather warnings as well. We'll see what UKMO are saying about that in a moment. City Andy is with us saying, hello all. So good evening, City Andy. Thank you so much for tuning into our live stream this evening. Callum saying, I hope you're well. So yes, I'm fine. Thank you, Callum. And apparently it's foggy where Callum is. I think that's down in the southwest somewhere. There is some rain as well. Adrian Major is with us, so thank you for making it over to the new live stream, Adrian. Adrian's saying a very chilly day here in Gloucestershire, but now the sun has come out, so listening in the garden, which is nice. That's absolutely fantastic, Adrian. It's very cloudy here. It's been cloudy all day. It's been gloomy all day. No rain again, just all cloud and no rain. So not the sort of weather that gardeners like. If it's cloudy, gardeners do like to have a little bit of rain. But it's been cloudy here all day, and yeah, so just cool and cloudy really. But great to hear that the sun's out where you are. Also coming down, we've got Katrina saying, I'm not getting a Zoom meeting today, so due to glitches in the software. Maybe it's something that's going on across the internet. Katrina. Josh is with us, Josh White, saying, it's been dull and cloudy all day, but still no rain. Yeah, that's where I am as well. Josh, not really much in the way of rain here today at all, just a few spits and spots in the wind and so on. Savvy saying he thinks the webcam is great. Thank you, Savvy. So it's a bit of a change for me. I'm not normally on camera for very long. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, but I'm only sort of on camera like the first 2 minutes of the video, or a little bit more, depending on what I've got to say in the first part of the video, and then right at the very end, like in the last couple of minutes at the very end. So I'm not used to being on camera for a protracted period, and it does take a little bit of getting used to. But I'll get used to it. I'll definitely get used to that. So we've also got Paul saying, sorry folks, YouTube shut down on me twice, but now I'm back. So there's something going on, isn't there, Paul, with YouTube? As I say, you think with all of YouTube and Google's money that they would have a decent working streaming platform, but there we go. There we go. It seems like their platform does have a few problems. But I suppose, really, I mean, we complain about it, but I mean, when you think how the things have progressed over the past few years, this wouldn't have been possible not all that many years ago, would it? That everybody could get together like this and sort of have a really good chat and so on. So when you think where we've come in quite a short space of time, I don't suppose it's too bad, really. So Savvy is saying it's her thunder. So it's all kicking off over there in Wales. In Divar, Dylan is saying, where do you expect the June seating? I would be surprised if it's not all that far from average in Divar. I've got a feeling it'll probably come out relatively close to average, but we'll see about that. So TA saying hi, another new name. Thank you so much, TA, for being with us. Hi, Gav. Looking forward to the NEO forecast on Sunday. Yes, indeed. Has everybody seen the NEO forecast trailer? Have you seen the NEO forecast trailer that I did last night? It's 30 seconds long, and it really does tease the NEO forecast that we're releasing on Sunday for the winter 2020-21. So you haven't seen it yet. It's only 30 seconds, so it's really short, but it is a nice little teaser, I hope. So I hope you've all enjoyed our little NAO forecast teaser. TA saying, I've noticed a lot of hammering over June weather as if summer is doomed. I haven't seen a great deal of that, TA, but early June is always a strange time anyway. Early June is tends not to be all that indicative, really, of what's going to happen through the rest of the summer. Sometimes it can be. Sometimes the pattern that you get right at the very beginning of June can sort of go on all the way through the summer, but very rarely does that happen. More often than not, you'll get a pattern change later on in the summer. So at the moment, as I've been saying this in the live streams recently, at the moment I'm not overly concerned about this summer, even though we have got quite a cool and unsettled period going on. Not overly worried about it. Now up to 60 concurrent viewers, so thank you so much everybody for being with us. I'm going to do some screen capturing very, very shortly, so if I can just have a look at one or two more. We've got Cynthia Andy saying plenty of rain here as well. Andy's up in Shropshire. Paul's had a few showers. Chris Taylor is with us saying that the cloudy weather with no rain is getting boring. So I would prefer to have some rain. If I'm going to have the cloud and have the sun disappear, I would prefer to have some rain for the garden, actually, Chris, as well. Francetta is saying it's throwing down here in Wales. Much needed, though. Mark is saying, you made a good point there. Imagine we've been in lockdown in the 1990s and no Facebook and other things. Yeah, that's right. So we have come a long way. We complain about tech, but we've come quite a long way, haven't we, on the advancement of technology. Okay, so been here for, well, it would have been 20 minutes if the stream had started first, but we've been here around 15 minutes on the new live stream. And we'll go off and do a little bit of, screen capturing, because there's a lot to talk about. So for this part of the video, I'm going to turn off the camera, actually, so I'll be off camera, and I'll also got to turn off the image as well, and we've got to put up the display capture. By the way, we are grinding our way to 7K subs. We're grinding our way to 7K subs. So if everybody can sub the channel, if they haven't yet, that would be absolutely fantastic. So we're going to start off this screen capturing for this Wednesday night video looking at the radar from theweatheroutlook.com. Please do check out the Weather Outlook, fantastic site. I go back a very, very long way with the Weather Outlook. Can you believe I started doing little forecasts, weekend forecasts of the Weather Outlook for back in 2003, very, very long time ago. I was around 25 when I did that, so that goes to show how long I've been around. And as I always say, I'm very good friends with the site owner of the Weather Outlook, Brian Gaze. So I know that all the weather websites have been suffering during this coronavirus period, but the Weather Outlook is always quite special to me because Brian has given me loads and loads of tips and advice for Gav's Weather Vids. Basically, Gav's Weather Vids, as you see, it has been designed by myself and in collaboration with Brian Gaze, because I wouldn't have known how to build gavsweathervids.com on my own. So he gave me, I mean, I did it myself, but he gave me loads and loads and loads of advice. So if there's one weather website that I want everybody to check out and support and go and use their charts and so on, it's the Weather Outlook. Please do go to theweatheroutlook.com. So this is their radar picture. You can see how the rain has been avoiding here, can't you? So look at that. Through this central swathe of the country, very, very little. Some rain over on the eastern side. and the heaviest rainbow is in the west, quite clearly. So southwestern Scotland down to down through the Irish Sea around western parts of Wales, southwest England. Some very bright colours in there. If we zoom in, we can see there's the bright colour, but I think is giving Savvy the thunder just there. That purple just there in the north of Wales, and also over here as well. We see bright colours. So they're thundery downpours. We've got some more of those down in the southwest. Look, we've got plenty of thundery downpours down in the southwestern part of the country too, and it really is in the west that the heaviest downpours are. Some rain in the east, that's a lot lighter, less thundery, and in this middle sway there's a lot of dry weather, so that's where I am, stuck in that dry weather and just with lots and lots of cloud and loads of gloomy skies as well. Let's have a look at the observation from XC Weather. Now, I think we're going to find these charts are refreshing a little bit as we're going through this section of the video, but never mind, we shall persevere. And this is what we're going to see with the temperatures. So the warmest temperature is actually, interestingly, up towards the north of Wales. So Shawbury in the northwest Midlands is at 16 degrees. And I also saw 16 degrees flash away in another station. Where was it? Somewhere around here. Harrowdon is up 16 degrees as well. In the southeastern corner, it's cooler there. Temperatures around 12 degrees at Stansted. Moving into the Midlands, just 12 degrees at Wittering. Going further north, we've got Chatterhall at 12 degrees and Aviemore at 11. And Belfast is at 12 degrees as well. So it's a pretty cool afternoon. Warmest temperatures appear to be like northeastern parts of Wales and northwestern parts of England. I say warmest, but I mean that's really quite disappointing for the 10th of June at 6 in the evening. You'd expect temperature to be quite a bit above, and generally it has been quite a cool day, but I think we will see temperatures lifting up over the next day or two. Right, so let's see if we can close down one or two of these tabs, shall we? And hopefully that might help the refreshing a little bit. So at the UK Met now, they've got severe weather warnings issued, and the severe weather warning for rain is for southwestern England. So let's zoom in on that. Hopefully you can see this okay. So this is valid from 4 o'clock this afternoon to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and they're saying there's a small, so they're saying heavy rain may cause some flooding and travel disruption. And they're saying there's a small chance of fast flowing and deep flood water, and some communities could be cut off. There's a small chance that homes and businesses could be flooded out. Spray and flooding on roads are going to be a problem, and also where flooding occurs, there could be delays and cancellations to train and bus services. And I've got a feeling, looking at that radar picture, that may be extended northwards to other parts of Wales. So I've got a feeling that might get extended in the next hour or two, because there were some pretty intense downpours up across the northern parts of Wales in particular. And that it goes through to tomorrow as well. So again, the severe weather warning is there for southwest parts of Wales and down to southwestern England. But as I said, I've got a feeling that might get extended in the next hour or two. Go to the UK Met severe weather warnings page and have a look. Remember, we don't issue severe weather warnings at Galsworthy. We aren't qualified to do that, and no other weather website other than the UK Met is qualified to give you severe weather warnings. So if you need warnings and advice about how to stay safe, about how to keep safe in the weather, then the UK Met Office will always be the place to go. You will see in various places on social media and so on that people issue weather warnings and advice. We actually do have a little weather alert section at Galsworthy's, but no one is actually qualified or indeed insured to give you advice about your safety. And the weather can get so severe that it comes to a point of finding out how you can stay alive in that weather. No other website agency is qualified to give you advice about your safety and your life other than the UK Met Office. So other people can give you alerts, of course, and things like that. But for real severe weather warnings, the only people that could do that are the UK Met. So do check out UK Met if you want to see what's going on with these severe weather warnings. Right, we're going to go to West Central and have a look at 12Z data. So we're going to start off with the GFS. Now, if you saw today's second video update, so I've done the 5-day forecast, and I've done today's second video update as well. If you've seen those, you'll see most two videos, you will know that what's happened today, or what happened earlier on today, is that the GFS started to indicate some pretty warm, dry, and potentially quite hot weather coming along through the course of early next week. So you'll know a couple of days ago, early next week was being forecast to actually be quite cool, showery, unsettled, and that sort of thing. But gradually, the GFS anyway started shifting towards a hotter, drier sort of scenario through early next week. Let's have a look at 12Z and see whether that's still what it's doing. So at the moment, we've got this low pressure sitting to ourselves. Of course, high pressure is up to the north and the northeast. We're bringing in these easterly winds. Now, as we go through into the weekend, we're going to find that low pressure still messing about down to our south, so it'll still be bringing further spells of rain, heavy showers, longer spells of rain to southern and southwestern parts of the country. Moving into the weekend, though, we find that low pressure gradually starting to weaken. Heights are strengthening to both the east, and this is what's different though, so heights are strengthening both to the east but also to the south as well. That's different. We wasn't seeing that yesterday. So as we go through the weekend, the low pressure that a couple of days ago looked like it would probably give us quite an unsettled weekend with quite a lot of heavy showers and thunderstorms, that is being shoved off out into the Atlantic, and we've got this ridge rising both from the south and from the east, and so we've got quite a big area of high pressure beginning to get going over the weekend. So we're into the early part of next week now, and we've got a 1025 millibar area of high pressure taking over, and there will be quite a lot of warm air in with that high pressure as well. So through the early part of next week, we now, certainly on the GFS solution anyway, have a look at the GEM and the UK Met in a moment. Can't look at the ESEM WF unfortunately, because that won't update until between 7 and 8 o'clock tonight. But certainly on the GFS, through the early part of next week, probably from around Sunday onwards actually, and through Monday and Tuesday, a spell of dry and potentially very warm weather is likely. I think that scenario through Monday and Tuesday could be lifting temperatures into the upper 20s. It will depend on the upper air temperatures, of course, but I think that could be lifting temperatures into the mid to upper 20s Celsius there. So that looks really good. And actually, as we go into the second half of next week, look at this, the ridge is maintained. The GFS has shifted big time towards higher pressure through next week. So this is a dry, mainly dry and potentially very warm week that we've got coming up now on this particular GFS run. Anyway, we don't know how much support this has, of course, within the GFS ensembles and also from other weather models, but definitely the GFS has moved a lot in the last 24 hours or so to something a great deal warmer and drier through next week. Now, as we move on into extended range, so we're heading up towards day 10 now, so we're up to around the 20th of June. We're finding that high pressure beginning to get pushed southwards a little bit. Lower pressure is developing up to the north, but the high pressure never really going away from the south. So it's a very anticyclonic scenario that we've got here on this GFS run, and pretty dry actually for southern areas anyway, pretty dry virtually from around Sunday, Monday, going all the way through to like late June now. So this, as far as we go, is like to the 26th of June, and still you see a ridges there across England and Wales anyway. So big changes with the GFS, really big changes there with the GFS midday 12Z run. Let's have a look at the UK Met if we can. I always have a job to see that one. There it is. So have a look at UK Met, see what that's doing. And again, so starting off unsettled, as we know, Saturday, Friday, Saturday, going to be further showers, if not long spells of rain in places as well. That's Sunday, the low pressure beginning to get pushed out to west. It looks like it's beginning to raise pressure across France. We also have quite a big ridge over Scandinavia. Let's see what happens on the next chart. So yes, heights again rise. This is Monday. Heights rising across the south. Still a little bit more unsettled than the GFS, though, away to the northwest with this trough of low pressure. And that's Tuesday. So it's somewhere in between, Matt. It's not anywhere near as settled with that high pressure as the GFS by the early part of next week. Not anywhere near as strong. I think probably relatively warm and a fair amount of dry weather for more southern and eastern areas with that. There is a trough, though, that's up in the north and the northwest that will probably bring more in the way of showers through there. The UKMO is not as settled or as hot through the early part of next week as the GFS is. And then we'll have a look at the GEM. Is what the GEM is showing. So again, for Saturday, we've got this trough of low pressure to our southwest that we bring further spells of rain at times, heading up towards the second half of the weekend. That low pressure starts to get pushed westwards, probably still bringing heavy showers on Sunday to Ireland, Wales and southwest England. Many northern and eastern areas I would have thought turning drier and probably turning warmer as well. By the time we get through to Monday, again, not as strong with a ridge of high pressure, so maybe the GFS is off on a bit of a tangent with this. It's possible that GFS has gone off on a bit of a tangent again with this high pressure it's trying to build in through next week. The GEM also looks rather unsettled. Look at that low pressure coming in across the country at daytime. The GEM just not settling things anywhere near to the same extent that the GFS does. Let's have a look at the GFS ensemble, see if we can try and work out how much. Let's do ICON first of all. So do ICON, see what that's showing. So again, 72 hours low pressure. It's a high res model, by the way. 72 hours low pressure is to our south. As we go through to let's go through to 96 hours. There we go. And the ICON is building pressure more strongly. So the ICON is more in line with the GFS on this. Pressure building more strongly through the early part of next, through the last part of the weekend to the early part of next week. That's Monday. Look at that, quite a nice ridge then building through the country, and high pressure generally maintained at least to the middle of next week. Possibly, possibly showing signs of weakening later on. But I think the ICON is more in line with the GFS. So we've got the UK Met, we've got the GFS and ICON looking really quite dry and potentially very warm through next week, a return of summer. We've got the GM, which looks very cool, showery and unsettled, and we've got ICON, which is we've got UK Met, I should say, which is somewhere in between. So it's GFS and ICON bringing summer back next week. GM cool and unsettled through much of next week, and UK Met is somewhere in between those two scenarios. We don't and we won't have the ECM until between 7 and 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, when we, as I keep saying, when we're back in GMT, we'll get the ECM updating between 6 and 7. So in theory, when we're back in GMT, when we do these Wednesday evening live streams at 6 o'clock, we will be able to also include the ECM with that as well. But at the moment, unfortunately, we can't. Now, the final thing I want to show you, and then we'll go back to YouTube. The last thing I want to show you is these. So you'll remember that when we did yesterday's ECM 30-day look at, I'm going to have a little bit of a rant with this. Got a little bit fed up with the ECM temperature precipitation anomalies over the 4-week period from the Hungarian Met Office, because what's been going on with that is that weeks 1 and 2 always have a relatively clear signal. But weeks 3 and 4 are always, the signal is always a lot weaker, a lot more uncertain, and very often just going to either average or, I always think, probably just no signal. And that leaves me with very little to be able to say. So I thought we was going to have to wind up the ECMDF 30-day look ahead, but then our good friend Sani pointed out that at Copernicus you can get the same charts but much more detailed, with a lot more detailed, and not only extending out to 4 weeks but also extending out to 6 weeks as well. And this is from the ECMWF via the Copernicus website. Now, we still can't show you mean thermal pressure or 500 millibar heights with this, annoyingly. I wish we could, but so far we still can't do that. Whenever they do, if they do ever come online, I assume that'll happen at Copernicus first. But we can show you temperature and precipitation anomalies not only for the next 4 weeks, but now for the next 6 weeks from the ECMWF. So this is going to be really really interesting, I think, to monitor this over the next few weeks. Right, we're starting with week 1 then. So this is the temperature anomaly for the UK and for Europe for the week from the 8th to the 14th of June, so the week that we are currently in. And you can see that northern and east parts of Europe warmer than average, many western parts of Europe a lot cooler than average, particularly cool across Spain and Portugal as well. This is the, and we're going to see this refresh all the way along this, unfortunately, but never mind. This is the week 1 rainfall anomaly from the 8th to the 14th of June. Significantly wetter than average across many western parts of Europe, including the UK, but also going down to France, Spain and Portugal. In fact, many central and eastern parts of Europe looking really quite wet. Northern Europe looking significantly drier than average. Scandinavia is under a Scandinavian high, so a lot drier up there. We go through to the week 2 temperature anomaly, which is going to be the 15th to 21st of June. It's becoming warmer, so we see warmer than average temperature extending across many northern parts of Europe. Southern Europe, especially in Spain and Portugal, looking cooler than average. It will still be pretty warm, potentially quite hot down across Spain and Portugal, but because it's summer, but cooler than average, and very warm across Scandinavia, by the way. The temperature only there looks like it's around 5 degrees above average. This is week 2, precipitation anomaly, so significantly drier than average, again across northern Europe, wetter than average through many other parts of Europe. So anywhere south of Scandinavia and the north of Scotland looks generally wetter than average, quite significantly so, quite substantially so, across England, Wales, and much of France, Germany, Low Countries, Spain, Portugal. So it is quite a wet week coming up, but warmer for us. This is the week 3 temperature anomaly. This one takes us from the 22nd to the 28th of June. Again, we see that it's pretty warm overall across many northern parts of Europe. It does look a little bit cooler though across southern parts of Europe. This is the week 3 rainfall anomaly for the 22nd to 28th of June. Still rather unsettled through many parts of Europe and becoming a bit more unsettled across Scandinavia as well, suggesting that as we come to the end of June, we probably begin to lose this Scandinavian high influence a little bit and probably start to turn things more unsettled across northern Europe. That could be the sign of the pattern change as we're moving through to July. Let's have a look at July. So this is temperature anomaly for, I think we're up to week 4 now. Temperature anomaly from the 29th of June to the 5th of July. Warmer than average still across Scandinavia, but less so. Otherwise, most places quite close to average. Looks cooler than average down across southern, southwestern parts of Europe. The precipitation anomaly from the 29th of June to the 5th of July looks significantly wetter than average, again across many northern and western parts of Europe. So we end June and begin July still on quite an unsettled note in northwest Europe. And notice how that rain is beginning to push into Scandinavia, definitely suggesting a weakening of the Scandinavian high. That's week 5 temperature anomaly going from the 6th through to the 12th of July. So then significantly warmer average again across northern and eastern parts of Europe. Still looking a little bit on the cool side across the west of Europe. France in particular still rather cooler than average there. And the precipitation anomaly, we gradually see the wettest weather begin to transfer more towards northern and eastern parts of Europe. It looks like it's beginning to get drier out in the northwest. So for the UK, for Ireland, out into the North Atlantic, it looks like things are starting to dry up there, and the wettest weather is beginning to push over towards more northern and northeastern parts of Europe. Perhaps this could be indicative of a bit of a strengthening of the Azores high as we're coming into the beginning of July. And then go through to week 6. This is 6 weeks away, but we go now with these from the ECMWF. And we see that in week 6, which is the 13th to the 19th of July, then it's looking quite a lot warmer across the west of Europe. The UK, for example, is kind of 1.5 to 1.5 degrees above average. Many western parts of Europe looking quite warm. Scandinavia quite warm as well. So again, it's a suggestion as we go a little bit further on into the summer, we do start to see things beginning to warm up and going drier as well. So looking very significantly drier than average now across France and up into England and Wales in particular. Very significantly drier than average through many western parts of Europe. Still a bit unsettled over in the east and the northeast, and out in the far northwest of Europe as well. A little bit unsettled through there. But I think this could be suggesting the re-emergence and a re-strengthening of the Azores high as we begin to come towards the end of June and the beginning of July. It does take a little while to get there, but I think the ECM is probably picking up on a change towards higher pressure and the Azores high getting a lot more involved as we go a little bit further on into the summer. So as I've been saying about this early June period, which is, as we know, quite cool and unsettled. I'm not overly worried about it at the moment because I think as we go further on into the summer, we're likely to see a strengthening of the Azores high. Anyway, that's what we're going to be looking at from next Tuesday in terms of the ECMWF 30-day look ahead. We'll be using these charts from now on, not the charts at the Hungarian Met Office. We'll be using these charts from Copernicus, and we'll be looking at temperature and precipitation anomalies for the next 4 weeks in a lot more detail. I haven't decided what to do yet with weeks 5 and 6. I don't know whether I should include that in the Tuesday update, or whether I should keep them back for the Wednesday live stream. I may keep weeks 5 and 6 back for the Wednesday live stream. But anyway, we've got a lot more to go on now. We really do have a lot more to go on in terms of the ECM 30-day look ahead, and I'm really delighted with that. So thank you so much to Sani for pointing these out. I think at some point in the dim and distant past, I must have I think at some point in the dim and distant past, I must have been made aware of those charts. But I must have forgot about it, really. My brain is getting a little bit old now, in me 40s, and yeah, so I think I must have been aware of them at some point in the past, but quite why I've forgotten about them, I'm really not sure. But thank you so much to Sani for sharing those, and that's absolutely great. Thank you so much, Sani, for that. Okay, so we're back on YouTube, hopefully. I'm hoping we're back on YouTube anyway. I think we are. And I think I've enabled the webcam again. So good afternoon, well, good evening, everybody. And I hope you enjoy that little screen share section. We're hovering just under 68 concurrent viewers. So we're just under 70. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. We'll be here for another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap up the live stream. I'm going to have a look at what some of you have been saying while I've been doing that. So I've been really busy in the comments. Thank you so much, everybody, for getting involved. So I think Sammy's had an epic thunderstorm. We saw on the radar picture, didn't we, that it's pretty intense over there. And I am expecting that warning from the UKMO to be widened out. I think that'll be widened out in the next hour or two, but we'll see. Let's believe he's asking, do you think we're getting supercells soon? So I'm not sure about that, I doubt there's quite enough energy within the atmosphere. I doubt it's hot and humid enough for supercells. You would normally associate that with when we have a real plume type thing, and the atmosphere becomes an absolute sort of boiling pot of heat and humidity. So probably not for the foreseeable future, but I could be wrong, of course. So if I can look at one or two more of your comments. So Adam is telling me, Adam Blunden, good evening, Adam, telling me that it's raining in Cornwall. Thank you so much for being here and enjoying our live stream, Adam. Trevor Hall is with us saying, hi Dad, been raining this afternoon on the south coast but dried up now in East Sussex. It's just been cloudy and just a little bit damp here. We're missing all of the action today. Andy is saying lockdown has not changed my life that much. So, well, that's good, Andy. Okay. We've got Agent saying sun's out, but lots of very dark clouds on the horizon. I think you'll be picking up heavy showers and downpours soon, Agent. Luke is saying, Gabriel's 4 flashes of lightning at once where I am in Malvern at the moment. So it's all going on, isn't it? I'm missing all of the action. But just as well, because of course if the thunder was banging away in the background, you wouldn't be able to hear me. So it's just as well that it's okay here. Thomas Green is with us. Good evening, Thomas. Good afternoon, good evening. I think it's probably more evening than afternoon now, really. Thomas Green says, I finally made it. Miss all the time. I think you're talking about live stream. So thank you for being here, Thomas, and enjoying our live stream this evening. I hope you had a great time listening to the live stream and watching it. So Katrina's saying, I have tried to become a member of Weather Outlook, but there's a message saying they're not accepting any more new members. Oh, right, I didn't know that, Katrina. I think they have wound the forum down quite a bit over the past little while. So, but if you can visit the website, because I mean, the forum is just one part of the website, but I think what Brian Masaitona likes people to visit is like the charts and that sort of thing. So if you can have a look at the charts and so on there, that would be great. And you could, I think there's a contact email for Brian. You could give him an email and sort of say you'd like to join his forum. He might let you join the forum, but I think they have wound the forum down quite a bit over the last year or two, actually. But the rest of the site is really active. You know, got radar. They've got loads and loads of charts. You know, way more than I could ever do with Gaz Weathervid. So if you want to have a look at charts and so on, then please do that at the Weather Outlook. We also got Chris Taylor saying, I've seen on another channel landing development has slowed. We'll have a look at that on Sunday, Chris. We'll have a look at that. No, we won't. I'm going to say I'll have a look at that at Gaz Weather Sunday Roundup, but of course we won't be doing that this Sunday. I'm having Sunday morning off as we're releasing the NAO forecast for winter 2020-21. So this week, just this week, there's going to be no Gaz Weather Sunday Roundup, and there'll be no autumn analogues either. I just want to put the NAO forecast out, just let that sit on YouTube and all Gaz Weathervid's platforms, and let the NAO forecast sit in its own terms. So this Sunday, just this Sunday, there won't be a Gaz Weathervid's Sunday Roundup, but we may do something on the situation in the Pacific in another video. So I'll try and find another video that we can use to see what's going on with La Nina. Andy is saying, is next week warm and dry spell to be taken seriously? The models being so unreliable. Difficult to say, isn't it, Andy? So we saw that we've got the GFS and the Icon on one side looking really warm, dry for next week. We've got GM looking very unsettled for next week. And then we've got UKMO somewhere in between. We'll see what the ECMWF has to say in around an hour's time, but it's going to be exciting to see what happens. And again, this is all within relatively short time frames as well, so it really is quite unusual to have so much uncertainty at such short time intervals. Excuse me. So yeah, going to be interesting to see which way this goes. So also we've got Steamy Sweat is with us. Good evening, Steamy Sweat. Another new name. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. Steamy Sweat is saying, when is it going to get warm again? So we just had a look at the charts. Potentially things could start warming up. Well, things are going to start getting warmer over the weekend, but potentially things could turn very warm next week, but it is uncertain. Josh saying, fingers crossed for next week's GFS. And also we've got Adam asking whether the storm at Savvy is going to come his way. Probably not, Adam, but I would think you're likely to have your own downpours at some point this evening as well. So we've also got Andrew Price saying, hi Gav, dull and wet on Teesside. but at least everything is green again after all the rain over the last week. Well, congratulations for getting plenty of rain. That's the first thing to say, Andrew, because we've not had all that much here in Northants. We have had, like, a little bit of rain, but really we haven't had a great deal. And the grass is still pretty dry and pretty yellow where I am in Northants. So congratulations for that. And if you could sort of push some of that rain my way, that would be very, very useful. Shiram is saying model uncertainty rules at the moment. Yes, indeed, Shiram, it goes on. We've been seeing this uncertainty. I think this really started around the period of the lockdown, as I've been saying. Is this due to what's going on with the lockdown and lack of observational data from aircraft? It could be. We've also had Tropical Storm Cristobal, of course, going a long way north from North America into Canada, which is quite unusual to get a tropical storm that far north. And so it could be a combination of things, or it could just be one of those things, I don't know. But we have had a lot of model uncertainty for quite some time now. So Luke R is asking me, which model do you think will be correct? Well, when we see it, I always tend to side more with the ECM, whatever it's showing. Although the ECM is not flawless, can get things wrong, it does rate as the best model. After that, I think comes the UKMO, but UKMO only goes around 144 hours. And then, of course, we've got GM and GFS after that. And some people think, I'm not seeing the stats of it, some people think that GM has probably overtaken the GFS, and the GFS has possibly fallen to 4th place, but I haven't seen the data on that to know if it's true. By the way, someone was telling me, I think someone told me on Twitter or somewhere, I can't remember, somebody said there's now a new GFS parallel run. So we all like the parallel, and of course every year NOAA updates the GFS model, and for around 6 months or so we always run the new version parallel to the old version. And I'm sure I saw somewhere, I can't remember where it was, it might have been on galsworthies.com, it might have been in the comments here on YouTube, it could have been social media, but I'm sure somebody somewhere said there's a new parallel GFS, so that will give us something else to look at as well. Probably we always love it when there's a new parallel. SB is eating her dinner while watching the live stream. I hope you enjoyed your dinner, SB. And apparently, sausages and Yorkshire pudding. Oh, lovely. So, toad in the hole. That's sausages, Yorkshire puddings and peas. That's, as I would know it, toad in the hole. Love a bit of toad in the hole, SB. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Let's scroll down, and Savvy is saying a backloaded summer looks possible, so maybe, yeah, good for Gasworthy's summer forecast if we did have a backloaded. So I'm going to miss out loads of comments, unfortunately, because we did that long section of screen sharing. I'm going to have to wrap this up very, very soon. So yes, I'll have to miss out a lot of comments. But thank you so much, everybody, for being with us this evening. I hope you enjoyed this live stream. Please give us a thumbs up on the video if you haven't yet. I see we've got 31 likes, so we've done pretty well for likes. Please give us a thumbs up on the video, and yeah, all of that good stuff. That's absolutely great. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We are on the grind to 7K. We're on the grind to 7,000 subs at the moment. We're putting on around 10 subs a day most days, so we are going through quite a significant period of growth at Gasworthy's at the moment, but when we'll get to 7K by the end of the summer, I'm not sure. We've got Shrine, so remember many posting those EC charts in early 2019 when they were showing deep cold. I'm sure I must have been aware of those, Shrine. I'm sure I must have been, but somewhere in the dark black recess of my mind, I just forgot about them. So it's my fault more than anything, but there we go. We've got them now, and we'll be able to start looking at them from now onwards. Okay, so I think we're going to wrap this up very soon. I think we've got a new name here. We've got Neil Ballis saying, "Hi Gav, I'm off from the 16th this month for 10 days. There's a lot of talk of high pressure building for the next week." So we just looked at the charts on that, Neil. So yes, we could start to see high pressure building next week, but there is a bit of uncertainty, and just watch your space. We'll be covering it in the videos over the next couple of days. Adrian telling me, great live stream. Thank you, Adrian. And also Paul Jones is saying, what about the remains of Cristobal? Will that impact our weather? I think it's going to sort of die over northern Canada, Paul, but it may get pulled out into the North Atlantic and become some sort of area of low pressure in the North Atlantic. But I think really it's going to die over the over Canada. Henry W got caught in a downpour. Sorry to hear that, Henry. Indavar is saying goodbye. Sally is saying Toad in the Hole is amazing. Yeah, I absolutely love Toad in the Hole. You can't beat it. Josh White is saying another great live stream. Nice to be part of a community. Thank you, Josh. And Alan Patroon is saying another interesting and informative live stream. Gav, thank you so much, everybody. I've loved doing this live stream. I think it's great the way we're managing to make each live stream very distinct from one another. So Wednesday, like shorter range focus, Friday night's just having a bit of a laugh, and then Sunday very much to the longer range. So I think that's absolutely great the way we're doing that. So I've really enjoyed this live stream once again. So I'm going to turn off the webcam now, and I'm going to wrap things up. So thank you so much, everybody, for being with us. Thank you so much to Paul and to Savvy for moderating the live stream this evening. That's absolutely great. Thank you so much, both of you, for your help this evening. And all that remains really is just to say, stay safe and stay well. We're going to see you. We're going to see you primarily on Sunday, where we'll be looking at. We've got Patalpeng's analogues, of course, on Sunday. So we've got Patalpeng's analogues for winter of 2020-21. It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see what Patalpeng is forecasting in that live stream. And of course, we'll be talking about the winter LEO forecast as well. We will do a Friday night live stream sometime after 10 o'clock. Just have a bit of a laugh. But yeah, you know all of the recording schedule that's coming up over the next few days. Stay safe and stay well, and we shall see you live on Friday night, or otherwise we'll be here from 5 o'clock on Sunday with Patalpeng's analogues and also the LEO winter forecast discussion. But for this live stream, that's all for now. And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.